Part 170. The Verse of God's Curse, Ayah al-Mubahala. The prophet wrote a letter to the Christians of Najran, which began, "In the name of the God of Ibrahim, Ishaq, and Yaqub." The prophet then invited them to worship Allah and advised that accepting Islam was better for them, but also gave the option of paying jizya, tax. Should they refuse both options, the last resort was war. The people of Najran convened to discuss their options. One of them said,
"We know that there is a prophet predicted from amongst the people of Ismail. Perhaps it is him."
They eventually agreed, sending a large delegation of 60 people to Medina. They arrived at the prophet's mosque and were received by the prophet. It was time for their own prayer, so they asked permission to pray. The companions hesitated to allow them to pray in the mosque, but the prophet granted them permission. The Christians then turned towards the east and prayed their own prayers inside the prophet's mosque. Afterwards, they began their discussions with the prophet, asking many questions about Jesus Christ. After a lengthy discussion, they asked,
"If you agree with us that Isa was born of a virgin, then who was his father?"
The prophet replied that he did not have an answer for them, but would wait until Allah revealed the answer. The next day, Allah revealed the first 60 verses of Surah Al-Imran. Most notably,
"Indeed, the example of Isa in the sight of Allah is like that of Adam. He created him from dust, then said to him, 'Be,' and he was." Surah 3, verse 59.
They also asked about the religion of Ibrahim, claiming that he was a Christian. Allah revealed,
"Ibrahim was neither a Jew nor a Christian. He submitted in all uprightness and was not a polytheist." Surah 3, verse 67.
After 2 full days of discussions, Allah revealed,
"Now, whoever disputes with you concerning Isa after full knowledge has come to you, say, 'Come, let us gather our children and your children, our women and your women, ourselves and yourselves. Then let us sincerely invoke Allah's curse upon the liars.'" Surah 3, verse 61.
This verse is termed the Verse of God's Curse, Ayah al-Mubahala, and is used as a tool of da'wah, but is reserved as a last resort. Each group is claiming that the other is telling a lie about Allah, and each group is claiming sincerity, so Mubahala puts that sincerity to the test. Not only were they to invoke Allah's curse on themselves, they were to damn their entire families. In a family-orientated tribal society, that is the biggest declaration one could make. The Christians took Mubahala seriously, and after conferring, they decided that it was too risky to invoke such a curse. They instead decided to accept the option of paying jizya. On the way back, the younger brother of a senior leader cursed the prophet. The leader said,
"Do not curse him."
The younger brother asked why, and the leader replied,
"Because he is the foretold prophet."
Perplexed, the younger brother asked why they did not accept Islam if he was a true prophet, and the leader responded,
"Do you want us to give up all of the honor, wealth, and tithes given to us by the Caesar?"
The younger brother was stunned by their insincerity, and upon learning the truth, he defected and returned to Medina to accept Islam. Delegates continued to pour in to meet the prophet. Some delegates described their life-changing encounter with the prophet. Abdur Rahman ibn Aqil narrated,
"I was one of the delegates to the prophet. When we arrived, there was no one on earth more despised to us than the one we were sent to meet. But when we left, there was no one on earth more beloved to us than the one from whom we departed. One of our youngsters said to the prophet, 'O messenger of Allah, why don't you ask your Lord to grant you a kingdom like that of Prophet Suleiman?' The prophet laughed and replied, 'Perhaps your companion, that is himself, has been given a kingdom better than that of Suleiman. Allah has never sent a prophet except that he grants them one request. Some of those prophets requested something of this world. Others requested a punishment for their people. But as for me, I have kept that request between me and my Lord. It shall be my intercession for my ummah on the day of judgment.'"